So in our ongoing batch series, we are here with Joel McCharles, who has written this wonderful book with his partner, Dana Harrison. And I strongly suggest you get it because it's going to make your life so much better. And today we are talking strawberries.
Yeah. Strawberries are what sold the book. This was the concept of how we see a strawberry. So nose to tail, I look at a strawberry and I say it's got at least 3 different parts. It's got the top, the hull. Obviously you can cut that off the top, and I'm going to show you how to use the hulls and why you would use them for something. We have the tips. What I do is I use a mandolin, like this, to cut the bottoms off.
Okay.
And I don't want to get it too close to my fingers, so I end up slicing just the bottom half or third so that I dehydrate the bottom half of a strawberry.
Okay.
I use the top half for jam, and then I dehydrate or infuse with the hulls.
So you're using every part of the strawberry. It's very sustainable. You're not throwing anything away.
And it's quicker because if you're not using the hulls, you're being really careful picking the top off. You'll see, like when I cut the tops off, I want part of the flesh. I'm okay with part of the flesh because I'm using the hulls, so I'm not losing anything. So there's really 2 ways that I use them. One is this here, which is just dehydrated tops of strawberries.
Okay, so you just put them straight in the dehydrator.
Straight in the dehydrator. I use these for tea, so these are amazing. Dehydrated lemon, dehydrated strawberry in tea is awesome. Anything with hot water you can use them with. I also can use them in rubs, but one of my favorite uses is charcoal.
Oh,
so when you're barbecuing, just even if you have a nice coal bed when you're campfire cooking, throw some of these right on top of it, and it'll create smoke.
okay.
But we also use the tops. You can see there's a lot of hulls in this jar.
Yeah.
This is apple cider vinegar.
Okay.
And this is a strawberry vinegar. If you take a smell of that.
Oh, wow.
We talked about the bottom. So these are sliced really thin. If you're trying to turn them into a powder, or if you're taking them camping and you want to get a lot of them, you might want to make them thicker. But I love them thin for things like salads.
Yeah.
So you can almost see through them. They're glass and they've got great taste as well.
They do.
Yeah, and don't be afraid when you're dehydrating things like this to add flavor. I didn't in this case, but you could add a bit of balsamic vinegar.
That would be amazing.
Right, so whatever you're going to use them with, you could totally do that. Or if you want a real treat, we do something called rehydrating, where you will dehydrate something like a strawberry, and when it's almost fully dehydrated, we rehydrate it in maple syrup.
Okay.
Then put it back in the dehydrator and dehydrate it again. And then you've got this beautifully infused strawberry with maple syrup in it. Really great ways to do that too.
Okay, and of course when you're camping, dehydrated food is light, doesn't take up any space, and it's got all the nutrients in it. Right?
Absolutely. And I would really think if you're camping, think about what you're doing with it. Like if you're going to use it for a salad dressing, I would turn this into a powder before I go camping because then it's smaller and it's less fragile. Next up, I'm going to talk about how to make fridge jam as well as how to infuse alcohol with fruit. But I have to tell you a little secret, and this is what's in here. You see all that liquid that's in there. So in this pot, we have strawberries and what appears to be a whole lot of liquid. And it almost looks like a sap. This is just cut strawberries and brown sugar. A lot of bakers use this technique, and it's called maceration. And what they'll do is they let strawberries sit overnight, as I did here, and it pulls out a lot of the liquid. And that's really useful because if you're infusing something, it's that liquid you want to do a really quick infusion, right? Okay. You get the great flavor from it. As well, I'm going to teach you a trick about making fridge jam. We're actually going to boil down the syrup without the berries in it.
Okay.
We're gonna add the berries towards the end, and you're gonna have these thick chunks of strawberries rather than just this kind of like jelly. So all I'm doing now is I'm just going to remove the berries. So we're gonna thicken this liquid before we put the fruit in it. It'll still take a little bit, probably 10 minutes or so, and let that come to a boil, just making sure it doesn't boil over because it's liquid and sugar. While we're waiting for that, we've all had that day that we looked in the fridge and went, oh, the strawberries are soft and I don't want to eat them. Again, talking about reducing of waste and that type of thing. Yeah. As long as they haven't gone moldy, you can make jam out of them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? It's already starting to syrup. And what I mean by that is the bubbles are becoming bigger and they're becoming a little thicker. But soon we'll be able to see something that's a bit more, almost like a maple syrup, right? That reduction process that you've done.
The color is phenomenal.
Isn't it?
I love it.
And we've got that thick, syrupy, sappy type thing that the bubbles look way different now. So what we'll do is we'll drop the rest of the fruit in. All I'm going to do is I'm just going to cook this really to soften the berries, but they're not going to be overly soft. And I've got big chunks, as you see here, right? What I'm looking for here is when I bring my spoon across the bottom of the plate, is I want it to stay parted for a couple of seconds. We're not there yet. If you're ever going to pour jam out of a pot, especially when it's hot, never do this. Because if it ever spills, you end up wearing it. So if you're gonna pour it from a pot, pour it away from you. Really, the boiling is the most dangerous part. So you can see already the texture of this, like this is not
gorgeous.
See how the liquid is thick?
Yeah.
Right? It's not pouring out like water. It's really, really sappy, syrupy. And that will actually set up as it cools as well. That's its thinnest point. You can use this for not just for toast, great for salad dressing. Yeah. Never discount pureeing jams.
What do you have here?
So this is a strawberry fruit leather. So, but it's way more complex than just berries.
Wow, that's got a lot of flavor.
Can you identify any of the flavors in it?
Does it have balsamic in it?
There's balsamic in it. So it's strawberries, it's balsamic, there's some maple syrup, pepper, and chocolate.
Chocolate, that's what I'm tasting. Oh my God.
You can rehydrate this in hot liquid as well. So this would work like in hot chocolate. I'd drop some of this, right? Like just awesome moment with chocolate on chocolate, or pair it with it.
Yeah.
This would be great with cheese.
Honestly though, if you were camping, that could be a dessert because it's the chocolate strawberry goodness.
Absolutely.
So all of these wonderful recipes are available in Joel and Dana's book. Or if you'd like to visit the website, just look in the description below. And if you like this video, subscribe.